Welcome to the Deep Dive. So if you're prepping for a really critical job interview in English, you probably already know that just, basic conversational fluency, that's just the entry fee.
It really is.
It's not the winning ticket.
Yep.
You need advanced strategy. You need to sound professional, nuanced, and honestly unforgettable.
That's absolutely right. Because at the advanced level, the interviewer, well, they're no longer just testing your grammar. They're testing your context, your clarity, your structure.
Right.
We're moving past those simple statements like, I studied marketing. We need well-structured responses that show maturity and really make you stand out from, every other fluent candidate.
And that's exactly our mission today. We're taking the sources, distilling this blueprint for success, and we're going to tackle the 6 most common high-stakes interview questions. We'll give you specific language, specific structures to make sure you move beyond sounding just okay, merely adequate, and sound truly compelling.
Excellent. Let's jump straight in, maybe with the question that opens almost every interview. It really sets the tone for everything that follows.
Okay, let's start with that classic opener. Tell me about yourself. Now, where we often see candidates stumble, even advanced speakers, is when they treat this question like a dry reading of their CV.
Yeah, just the facts.
Name, origin, dates of employment. It's boring. And the sources we looked at confirm interviewers just tune out really fast.
Oh, indeed. One piece of research suggested that interviewers mentally categorize or even, eliminate candidates within the first 45 seconds if that opening is just a list of facts.
Wow, 45 seconds.
Yeah. So the advanced approach is to tell a highly focused professional story.
Okay, a story. So what are the essential ingredients of that story then? It can't just be personality, right?
Yeah.
And it can't just be facts either.
No, it has to smoothly weave together 4 key elements: your brief background, your relevant education or experience, your professional passion, what you actually enjoy, and a glimpse of your future goals. If you leave out that passion or the goal, you just sound transactional, like you're just there for the job.
Right, okay. Can we maybe contrast a sort of beginner statement with a more advanced structured one?
Sure, certainly. So instead of saying, I'm from Brazil and I have 3 years experience in marketing, which is factual, but it's quite flat, isn't it?
Yeah, very flat.
You use structure to deliver context. You link the facts, like, I'm originally from Brazil and I hold a degree in business administration, with that really critical element of why you enjoy the work.
Giving us that how you operate insight, sort of the why behind the what.
Exactly. You add something like, I really enjoy collaborating with cross-functional teams and finding creative solutions for, let's say, complex logistical challenges. That paints a picture of you actively working,
And what did the source material really stress about showing ambition? Because that seems key too.
Oh, it's vital. Adding your professional goal demonstrates maturity, foresight. Close your tell me about yourself, answer with a sentence about the future, something like, I'm eager to expand my skills in international markets and contribute to innovative projects, which is actually what drew me to your specific role.
Okay.
That one sentence elevates you because you're looking forward, not just listing past achievements.
That sets a perfect sort of aspirational tone. But then, of course, they need to know why you chose them specifically. Let's move to question 2. Why do you want this job? The simple, unconvincing answer is always just, I like your company.
Right, and that's usually followed by an awkward silence. What's fascinating here, and what the sources highlight, is that the advanced candidate proves they've done their homework. They connect their personal trajectory directly to the company's specific achievements, or maybe their stated values.
So this isn't just about general flattery, like, you guys are great. It has to show both motivation and direction, doesn't it?
It really does. You need phrases that connect your background to their future. For instance, if you're applying to a company known for, say, aggressive market entry, you might say something like, I admire your company's reputation for innovation and rapid growth, and I'm particularly excited about the opportunity to apply my skills in emerging markets while learning from recognized industry experts.
I notice how you use that structure there. I admire X, and I'm excited about Y. That feels like a great verbal blueprint someone could use.
It is powerful, yeah, because it shows you understand their mission, what drives them. Or, if the fit is more about career progression, you might use alignment language. Something like, this role aligns perfectly with my background in sales management specifically, and my long-term goal of leading international teams. The opportunity here to specialize in the APAC region is, for me, a unique fit.
Those examples really signal that you haven't just, blasted out 50 generic applications. You see a clear, tailored future path within their organization.
Precisely. It shows genuine interest.
Okay, let's talk self-assessment now, starting with strengths. What are your strengths? I suspect, I don't know, 90% of candidates probably still rely on vague adjectives like hardworking or maybe a good communicator.
And they just get lost in the shuffle, honestly. Employers aren't interested in generic qualities. They want specific competencies, things that are tied to actual outcomes. This is the moment where you have to stop talking about qualities and start talking about capabilities.
Right. And the non-negotiable requirement here, according to the sources, is proof.
Absolutely. Proof is everything. You should focus on maybe 2 or 3 specific capabilities and, crucially, deliver evidence immediately. This is that behavioral interviewing mindset really at work, often summarized as the STAR method, challenge action result, where your past performance predicts your future success.
That context is super helpful. So instead of just listing qualities, we frame them around professional output, actual results. What are some strong evidence-backed examples we could use?
Okay, well, you might lead with organization. Say something like, I'm highly organized and detail-oriented, which consistently helps me deliver complex projects on time and within budget. Then the proof. For instance, in my previous role, I coordinated a large integration project across 3 separate departments and successfully delivered it 10 days ahead of schedule, which actually avoided potential delays.
That's really convincing because it's quantified, it's contextualized. The capability isn't just a word, it's an actual operational success story.
Exactly. Or maybe if you're focusing on adaptability, phrase it as a concrete skill. I adapt quickly to new situations, and I'm comfortable navigating ambiguity, often working both independently and collaboratively. Like last year, when our team structure changed suddenly, I stepped up to temporarily manage client onboarding, ensuring 0 disruption to service during that transition.
Okay. Now for the flip side, the one everyone dreads. What is your weakness?
Yeah.
This is where nerves really spike because candidates fear, making themselves sound unemployable.
Yeah, it's tricky.
The goal here must be showing self-awareness and, I guess, a willingness to improve, while definitely avoiding genuinely negative terms like disorganized or maybe lazy.
The strategy is actually quite simple. Choose something relatively small, maybe a minor area for development, but immediately explain the concrete action you are taking to mitigate it or, better yet, overcome it. The focus has to be on the growth mindset, not the flaw itself.
Wait, though, isn't saying something like, I take on too many tasks, a bit of a cliche? How do we make sure that doesn't sound like a trick answer, a fake weakness?
That's a great point, a real challenge. It only sounds genuine if you follow through immediately with a specific, realistic action plan. If you just say, oh, I work too hard, it's hollow. Right?
Totally hollow.
But if you structure it this way, it can work. Sometimes I find I take on too many tasks because I genuinely like to be helpful and deliver quickly. But I've recently recognized that this can impact my own focus. So I'm actively implementing a system now where I allocate dedicated deep work blocks in my calendar, and I practice communicating clearer deadlines to stakeholders just to manage expectations better.
Ah, okay. So you're admitting an area for calibration, maybe fine-tuning, but you're already in solution mode. That's what the employer respects, I imagine.
Precisely. You're showing proactivity. The other highly effective structure, which feels less like a potential cliche, addresses a clear skills gap, again, with immediate corrective action. You state the lack of experience, then the remedy.
How would that sound?
Something like, I haven't had much practical experience yet with advanced statistical modeling software like R or Python, which I know is increasingly relevant in this field. Because of this, I've actually already started taking an advanced online certification course, and I'm dedicate about 2 hours every Saturday morning to practical exercises to build that skill.
That makes you sound professional.
Yeah.
Definitely motivated and really committed to closing that specific gap. Much better than a vague weakness.
Much better.
Okay, we've arrived at the grand finale, the big one. Why should we hire you? This feels like the moment to deliver your elevator pitch, synthesizing everything we've discussed. The tone, though. It has to be confidently assertive, yet somehow grounded in humility. That's a tough balance.
It is, but this is where you combine your ability, your attitude, and your motivation into one single cohesive argument. And you must be ready to pivot and use the most powerful evidence you have from your experience.
Let's talk strategy here for a second. When should a candidate really focus on past results, hard data, versus when should they maybe lean more on attitude or potential?
Okay, good question. If the role is highly technical or quantifiable, think sales, engineering, finance, you absolutely lead with data. Use your past evidence as the hook. For instance, you should hire me because I have a proven track record of delivering results. In my previous role, I managed key customer accounts and developed localized strategies that increased our divisional sales volume by 15% within just 8 months. I am committed and excited to bring that same result-driven energy and creativity to your team.
Yeah, that's a mic drop moment for a sales position, isn't it?
Right.
What about a role where maybe cultural fit and leadership potential are more paramount, like, say, project management or team lead?
Okay, yeah, good example. Then you emphasize adaptability, collaboration, maybe that positive attitude. You use a broader statement of fit. I believe I'm a great fit for this position because I bring the right balance of the necessary technical knowledge and, just as importantly, the crucial interpersonal skills needed to really motivate a team. I'm proactive, I'm reliable, and I'm genuinely eager to grow with your company, contributing not just my skills, but also a positive, solution-oriented attitude every day.
Those are powerful, clear statements. Okay, finally, we reach the very last interaction, typically. Do you have any questions for us? Saying no here, as the sources confirm, is basically a professional death sentence. It shows a total lack of seriousness or engagement.
It absolutely signals a lack of engagement, yeah. Asking smart questions, on the other hand, leaves a tremendous positive impression. It proves you're thinking strategically about the role in the company's future, beyond just, your own paycheck.
So what types of questions really demonstrate that highest level of curiosity and strategic engagement?
You want to focus on questions that give you strategic insights or delve into team collaboration or maybe the future direction of the role or department. Definitely avoid questions about salary or vacation time at this stage.
Okay, so what are some examples?
Ask things like, can you tell me a bit more about the immediate team I'll be working with and perhaps what the typical structure is for cross-departmental collaboration on key projects?
Okay, that shows curiosity about culture and workflow, how things actually get done.
Exactly. Then maybe ask about success metrics. What does success really look like in this position during, say, the first 6 months? And perhaps what is the most immediate challenge the successful candidate will need to address? This proves you're already thinking about hitting the ground running.
And always check the box on development opportunities, right?
Yes, definitely. Something like, what opportunities for continued growth and professional development, whether that's through formal training or maybe mentorship programs, are typically available in this role? This confirms you view the job not just as a job, but as a potential long-term investment in your career.
Good point. And just as a polite and professional closer, what should we ask about the next steps in the process?
Keep it succinct, polite, and forward-looking. Something simple like, thank you very much for your time today. I'm genuinely very excited about this opportunity. When can I reasonably expect to hear from you regarding the next steps in the hiring process? That shows sustained interest and professionalism right until the very end.
Okay, so we've covered a really solid set of tools today. Everything from crafting your professional narrative to delivering that hiring pitch and closing out with smart, strategic questions.
But before we wrap up, I think we really need to distill the, let's say, 4 underlying principles that make the difference between just a good interview and a truly great one. And these apply regardless of the specific words you use.
Okay, number 1, flexibility over memorization.
Please do not memorize these answers word for word. Your brain will fail you under pressure. It just happens, and you'll end up sounding robotic.
Right.
Learn the structure, the need for evidence, the action plan for weaknesses, the link to results, and then adapt the phrases to the actual situation, to the flow of the conversation. An interview is dynamic. It's a conversation, not a script test.
Makes sense. Number 2, clarity over speed.
Yes, fluency, especially at this advanced level, is about speaking clearly, with conviction, and with purpose. It is definitely not about speaking fast. Taking a moment, maybe a brief pause, to organize your thoughts and then deliver a concise, well-structured sentence will always impress more than just rushing through a rambling, maybe unfocused explanation.
Good reminder. Number 3, body language. Often overlooked.
Hugely overlooked. These small, nonverbal cues make a massive difference. Smile when it feels natural, maintain genuine eye contact, not staring, but connecting, and sit upright, engaged. These elements reinforce the confidence and professionalism you're trying to express verbally.
Absolutely. And the final principle, which I think should be the most liberating for any language learner listening, attitude over perfection.
Yes. The sources are really clear on this. Employers care far more about your ideas, your drive, your enthusiasm, and your positive attitude than they care about tiny, occasional grammar mistakes. As long as your core message is clear and confident, perfection is absolutely not the goal. Your commitment and your potential matter much more than perfect conjugation.
That's really encouraging. So, what does this mean for your final preparation steps? The source material suggests a specific technique to bridge that gap between preparation and performance, and we want to challenge you, the listener, to try it. Actually record yourself practicing these advanced structured answers out loud.
This step is so crucial because it literally trains your brain and your mouth to produce these more complex sentences naturally, even under the slight pressure of just speaking to a microphone or your phone.
So here's the challenge we leave you with.
What insights about your own professional delivery, your pronunciation, your pauses, your tone, even the clarity of your structure, what emerges when you are forced to be your own audience? That self-assessment, that listening back is the final polish needed to bring genuine earned confidence into that interview room.
Keep practicing these frameworks, really internalize the strategic focus we've discussed, and when that important job interview comes, you will be prepared not just to participate, but truly to succeed.